Right, hello. It's Sam Watterson here from Watson Co. I've decided to make a screencast because I wanted to talk about some of the things that I think are really important for any letting agency. Now, in my opinion, the service a letting agent offers rotates around three key pillars. The first one is results. They need to make sure they can do the job, find the tenants, and actually deliver results. The second one is customer service. We always need to offer our landlords and our tenants good customer service at all times. And the third one, and arguably the sort of the most silent but also important one, is compliance. So the idea is we have a blend of compliant service, good customer service, while also delivering results. And if we can aim to hit all those three, we should have a pretty decent lettings business and should be able to grow. So one of the things I want to talk to you today about is compliance and what I do. So we've got a very simple system. We're completely paperless, and what we do for each of our landlords is we create them a folder, and I'll talk you through the folder and the subfolders, and also how we go about auditing documents. So whenever we take a new landlord on, we'll create them on our CRM system, but we'll also within Dropbox create them their own special folder. So in this instance, I've used Clark Kent. So when you click into Clark Kent's folder, you'll see we have all the different properties that landlord owns, and also a folder called Landlord Documents. So Landlord Documents is where you'll find the ID of the landlord, the proof of address of the landlord, and anything else you need to verify that landlord and satisfy any money laundering requirements. And we'll go into 10 Downing Street as an example. And for this property, we have three subfolders: marketing documents, property documents, and tenancy documents. So the marketing documents are all the photographs numbered from 1 to 12, description of the property to then be used on the portals, and also the floor plans. Any additional marketing documents we'll save in this folder. The reason I number them 1 to 12 is when you go to upload them on the portals, you just number them in order. It just makes it a lot easier. You can always change the order of the photos on the portals once they're up, but having changed from one portal to another a number of times, I just think it's vitally important that you have all your photos numbered in a folder. Same with descriptions. A lot of people write the descriptions straight into the portal, but I always have a Word document. One of the most useful things this can be, for example, is if you're looking to sell your portfolio, your business, and the person that's buying your portfolio, your business, needs to upload the property photos and descriptions, they can do that quickly. I know some of the softwares do have some sort of integrations, but generally descriptions and photos don't really cross over that well. So if you've got all the documents in one place that you can give to the person that's buying your portfolio or your business, it just makes your business a bit more saleable. So always bear your exit in mind with a lot of these things, as well as the ease of everyday use. So property documents, we've got split into two different categories. So landlord documents are all the things that are relevant to that property for that landlord. So for example, the consent to let from the mortgage company, the landlord insurance, the management agreement for the property, and also the proof of ownership. There may be other documents that you decide that you want to keep. These are just the ones that we store. So any other documents that are specific to you, you can keep them in the same sort of folder. Safety documents would be your electric test certificate, your EPC, your gas safe certificate, HMO license, Legionella's risk assessment, and all the other things such as fire alarm tests, yada yada yada. And the next folder is the tenancy documents. So once you've got a tenant and they're moving into a property, you create a folder for each tenant, and quite simply in that folder we've got the tenancy agreements, deposit certificates, ID or reference reports from the referencing company. We use Good Lord, so theirs is quite decent. The inventory, and for those that use LetFlow, the LetFlow report. Just briefly, LetFlow is basically a system that will issue with the tenant a report which will contain the EPC, the gas safe certificate, the deposit prescribed information, and everything in one report. So although Good Lord, who we use, issue a lot of that when the tenancy first starts, LetFlow is a good way for us to reissue it again, but also give us that report. So if we ever need to serve a Section 21 to a tenant, and there's issues that come back with the Deregulation Act, we can say, look, we've got everything in one report, so the tenant's definitely had a copy, and that's also sent by email, and it's recorded of when it was sent and when it was received. So that's pretty good, and it's brought to you by the same company that do the fixed flow maintenance software. So there are basic folders. Dupix, who's our CRM system, does give us the opportunity to upload documents and make those documents visible to the tenant and the landlord. So what you can do, if you so wish, is you can upload those documents straight from your folders, and they'll be stored within the Dupix system. And then landlords or tenants can log on through the app or through the online portal and have a look for themselves. What I actually find a lot easier is to go back to the main folder, and it's not currently on Dropbox because I've downloaded it because I don't get Dropbox on this computer because it doesn't have enough memory. But what you do is you go into the Dropbox folder, you right click it and you share it with the landlord. So rather than at the end of the tenancy, the landlord, the application, sorry, the landlord having to chase you for the contract, chase you for the ID, you know, loses a copy of the contract, ringing you up going, can I have a copy of this, can I have a copy of that? You literally share the link to the Dropbox folder with the landlord and they have access to all the documents. If you're onboarding a landlord, you could even share the Dropbox folder with them and ask them to put in the gas safe certificate, ask them to put in their ID. It just saves time, and it's, for me, it's all about cutting down the number of phone calls in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months that are just unnecessary. So if a landlord rings me and says, have you got a copy of all the tenancy agreements for the house because I'm looking to put it on the market and I need to prove the Article 4, you can just share them the folder and everything's there. So it's, you know, it's pretty good and pretty organised. Now what I also do is I believe in auditing everything you do. So sort of every system or every process or every opportunity we have to record something, I always like to do a monthly check. Sometimes I've heard people talk about doing like a quarterly document check where they'll get all the files out, get all the paperwork out and tick it all off on a box. I think that's just a really cumbersome way of doing things, and I've devised a system which is kind of like an ongoing rolling document audit, which is just on a simple spreadsheet. So basically at the end of each month, I'll just load this up. At the end of each month, we'll list, no particular order, or in the order you've let them, all the lets you've done for each month in chronological order. And then you've basically got a simple tick box system whereby, you know, we go through the folder, have we got the management agreement? If we've got the management agreement, it goes green. Have we got the landlord ID? It goes green. Have we got proof of ownership? It goes green. And you can see where I'm going with this. So we basically use a traffic light system. So green means we've got it. Red, for example, it's a city centre flat, doesn't have gas. We'll put that as red, which means we don't need it. EPC, dead easy, take it from the EPC register. Electric safe certificate, it might be the landlord's got it, but we haven't got a copy. So we put that in orange, which tells us we need to action it. Again, HMO licence is not required. Legionellas risk assessment, you know, we've got a copy, or it's not required. And it's just a really simple system. Again, tenancy documents, we can put them in AST, ID references, inventory, deposit certificate, let flow. Have we got the meter readings uploaded to Dupix? So you can basically tick off all those boxes and it tells you what you've done and what you need to do. And again, what I get the staff to do is when they've done the document audit is just to put a date in there so we know that it's been done, and any comments. So comments could be, you know, no gas in the building, or no need for a gas safe certificate, for example. And what this gives you is a very easy visual guide, so you can look down and go, right, we've got 10, 15, 20 properties under management, all the ones that we let in May, have we got management agreements for them all? Yep, tick, 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 tick. You know, what's missing? Right, electric safety certificate, I need to chase that for Downing Street. And the idea is you want to get everything to be either green or red, and it gives you the opportunity to do them in batches. So rather than every 3 months having to come back in and having to go through every single file in your filing cabinet and look for what paperwork's missing and what paperwork's there, you can literally refer to this and know you've got everything, it's all in the Dropbox folders, and unless somebody's gone in and deleted it from a Dropbox folder, it should be where it is. Going back to a point I made before, if you're looking to sell your business or sell your agency, they're going to want to come in and do a document audit. If you can sit down and show them this sort of spreadsheet and say, this is how we audit in real time, all our paperwork and everything's saved in a Dropbox folder, it just makes the due diligence process a lot better. And again, it just makes your business as an asset a lot more saleable. I'm going to sign off there. I welcome any questions or comments or any feedback, anything you think I've missed out on my document audit. It's not perfect, it's just something I do to try and keep me and my staff more organised. And it just does away with having countless tick lists all over the office and people not knowing really whether they're coming or going. Okay, Sam Watterson signing off. Bye bye.